Hello everyone. Welcome once again to another live conversation with another one of my co-candidates for Mister Supranational 2023. I am super excited to introduce you guys to Mister Namibia 2023. His name is Malan van den Berg, and he has been one of the boys that I've been following for quite some time because he was one of the first ones of this batch that was selected to be part of this batch of Supranational 2023. I'm just going to send him the invitation here on the live stream so that he can join us, and let's have a fun conversation. So I think that he's already here in the wait room, so I'm going to accept. By the way, hello everyone who is joining us now. Thank you for joining us. I'm just going to accept Malan. Hello, brother. How are you?
Hi, Louis. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Very nice to see you finally. How's
Finally,
your how's your day so far?
it's been good. I just came from the gym, so I had my Sunday
Ah,
session in as well. How's your day
oh my
been?
God. I mean, it's already nighttime here for me. It was a pretty
How
busy day
was
today.
your day?
I was actually filming some scenes for, I mean, some of the content that we have to submit for Supra. So I spent most of my day just working on that. It's been so hectic.
I must say, Supra content. I've also been shooting and filming today and yesterday and this whole weekend. Um,
Yeah.
no, I feel you.
What has been for you the most challenging part so far in terms of like the preparation of all the content for social media and all of those things?
I must say, Louis, for me, it was finding time because I believe just as you and everyone else, we also have a full-time job. So the
Mm,
balance, to find time for shooting content, still doing your 9 to 5, that's been a bit of a challenge for me. But I mean, it we managed and we've
yeah,
got the content. How's it
for
been for
sure.
you?
I mean, it's been challenging, I'm not going to lie. And I am a content creator, so this is, I also do this for a
Easier for
living to a
you?
certain extent. But it's very different from the type of content that I normally do. So it still requires like a layer of effort, and especially
Definitely.
you want to put as much information as you can to make it meaningful. And there's so many
Yeah.
different things, right? So still a challenge.
No, I must say, getting everything together has
Mhm.
been difficult, but we made it. I believe you are the content creator. You are doing the most. I see you everywhere at most of the events, so well done on that.
uh, well, thank you. I mean, I think that yeah, it's definitely part of my personality. I love documenting the things that I do. So it's kind of a reflex for me. If I go to an event, if I go to an activity, I will always think in terms of how can I reflect this through my social media, right? Share the experience with everyone else. But it's also, you also have to find the right balance between creating content and also enjoying the event, because sometimes
True.
I had situations where I just spend the entire time filming or taking photos, and then at the end I'm like, oh, I don't even
Did,
remember what actually happened, right? So
did I actually
you have
enjoy the
to,
event, or was I just there for the content?
yeah, exactly. So you really have to find the right balance, to
Yeah.
enjoy and still share the experience with everyone else.
I must say, last night I've actually been to a celebration party of one of Namibia's celebrities.
Uh-huh.
Um, and someone approached me and they're like, you just on your phone and shooting content. Enjoy the event. So that's exactly what you say. We also have to enjoy the event and not just
Yeah.
always shoot.
Yeah, exactly. That's also part of it, because then sometimes I think, at the end of it, so many people take photos and videos of these events. So maybe you can go on like YouTube or Facebook and you can see someone's footage of it, but
Yeah,
if you don't enjoy the event, then you won't really have a core memory attached to it, right? So you won't really take the experience away with you when the event is over.
yeah, true. So that's why
Okay, so I'm
we take
actually
our fans with us on these events. So it's important for us to also document, and that's exactly what you said. Document these episodes when you go out, so that everyone
yeah.
watching our lives and your stories, they are there with you.
Yeah, exactly. That's so true. So Malan, one of the things that I wanted to ask you is if you could tell us please a little bit about your experience so far joining Mr. Supranational, especially your experience doing the national competition in Namibia. How was that experience for you?
I have to say it was an absolute unforgettable experience.
Yeah.
We have learned so much throughout the preparation leading up to the finale and the crowning event. We've had workshops and sessions about presenting yourself, speaking, how to um, interact with people, loving yourself, getting to know yourself, how to express
Mm,
yourself. These workshops and trainings really, benefited each and every
mhm,
contestant. And
mm.
after the crowning, being crowned Mr. Supranational Namibia, having the country support behind you is just so amazing. I mean, the platform that it gives you to actually make a difference, it starts you from the ground up project and all of that. It's been such a blessing, and it's
Yeah,
been nothing but amazing. How's it been for
absolutely.
you?
I mean, I'm super happy to listen to your experience because I didn't have the experience of a national competition because there is no national organization in Canada.
Not yet.
So my application process went directly to the organization, and of course, all of the Canadian delegates who um, pitched pretty much their participation, the organization made a decision ultimately. But I know that for a lot of people, the fact of going through the national competition is so important because first of all, it's an experience already, so it prepares you for the international pageant, right? But also, you have the opportunity to meet so many people within your
True.
country, within your locality, that then become as well your support system.
I
For
have
me,
to
it's been
say,
interesting, right? Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I have to add on to that Shani Raba was also Namibian, that was crowned Miss International 2021.
Yes.
So I mean that's been an experience. So when we did the event in 2022, I
Yeah.
attended as a guest, not as a contestant. And Varu Vargas, which was Mr. Supranational International at that time, was also here. And both of
Yeah.
them, just that experience, and with the Mr. Gerard and Andre and all of those people of the organization also being here, it's been such a blessing to have them here. And that actually motivated me and pushed me to enter, because that was in 2022. And they were like,
Mhm.
listen, Malan, we want to see you on the platform next year, which is
Yes.
2023. So no, it's been an experience, such amazing experience. So I can't wait for Poland to meet you all and just carry on with this.
Same. I'm really, really excited for that. Just before we continue, I just want to give a quick shout out to our brother Quentin, who is here in the comment section saying, hello, brothers. So Quentin is Mr. France for
Oh,
the fans who
oh,
are tuning in. So, Malan, one of the things that you mentioned is actually so, so true. Namibia won Miss Supranational in 2021 with Chani, of course. Do you think that because of that, that adds a little bit of pressure on your shoulders because people also want to have the male title come to Namibia? So, how do you deal with that expectation?
I have to say, before Shani in 2019, Jana Heinisch was the first runner-up of Miss Supranational, also
Yeah.
in Poland. And then Julita last year got the Woman of Substance Award handed down from Garrett himself. So I do believe, and I do think, not think, I know there is eyes on Namibia. So, I mean, the pressure's there. I have to, I have to say it's there, but it
Yeah.
just pushes us so much more to make the country proud, to be the best ambassadors of Namibia we possibly can. And
Mhm.
at the end of the day, whatever happens in Poland, we will still carry the name of Namibia high, and we'll still be the best ambassadors going on. Because I mean, mean, even looking back at Yana, Shani, all of these people that have been there, they still carry the ambassadorship of Namibia, and they still make our country proud.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, one of the things that I like, because I mean, normally when I'm not, let's say, like competing, I'm just creating content as a content creator. I do cover a lot of pageants, and Supranational is one of those pageants that I cover on a yearly basis. And I know, especially for contestants from Namibia, this to be true. These are people who are very committed to the cause. It's not just, you know, something that they do for the pageant and then it's over.
Yeah.
The title holders and even the contestants, you know, they take their advocacies and their work really seriously. I mean,
Yeah.
Chani is still traveling up until this day with the organization and still doing work with them
She was
after her
literally
reign.
just in Jakarta now, not too long ago.
Yeah, how cool is that, right? So I think it speaks very highly of people from Namibia.
So, Louis,
For
my
sure.
question to you is what made you enter Mr. Supranational?
Ooh, okay, that's a good question. I mean, to be honest, last year is when everything started for me, when I first had that idea, because I felt very touched personally by the edition of 2022 when Lalela won Miss Supranational, because I had been following, as a pageant fan, I'd been following Lalela's journey since the Miss South Africa days. So I got to experience all of the ups and downs. And then I was actually born and raised in Cuba until my teenage years, and then I moved to Canada. So having Cuba win for the very first time an international male competition, that was also something huge, something that I never really experienced within the Cuban community, because Cuba doesn't even compete at most international pageants. So just to see how these people were able to have such a large impact, you know, in the audience and the pageant fans, just kind of gave me that little, you know, bug of wanting to experience it for myself. And also, as someone who creates content about pageants, I didn't just want to be someone who will watch from the sidelines, but I wanted to experience it as well and know what it feels like. Because it's easy to sit down and talk and criticize and give feedback and whatnot, but when you actually go through it, it's a whole different story, right?
Definitely.
So that's when it all started.
Well, I'm glad that you're part of the brotherhood and the Supra family.
Yes.
Yeah, as I said, I can't wait to meet everyone in Poland.
Me too. And you know, I get this really good vibe from everyone, especially in the group conversation. It's funny because whenever someone joins the chat, everyone is saying welcome, and you know, it's like everyone takes a moment out of the day to just interact. And even when I asked everyone, you know, to join me for this live session, so many of you reached out. It's not like I have to run after people, and you know, it's like everyone is down, so it's super cool.
Yeah, I must say, the brotherhood on the group. I mean, I've had some personal conversations with you and some of the other brothers as well.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. It's more than, yes, it is a competition at the end of the day, and yes, we are competitors. But at the end of the day as well, we a family. We brotherhood will be there for each other even long after the competition.
Yeah.
And that's what I've seen in the past. So that's what I'm really excited for.
For sure. I mean, if I have learned anything at all from covering pageants and getting to talk to so many pageant contestants over the years, it's that joining a competition is really, it's a competition against yourself. It's not something, you're not there to defeat other people, to, you know, to bring them down. It's really within yourself and to prove that you have what it takes for the organization to give you the title, right? So going there, I'm just hoping to make as many friends as I can. I'm hoping to have a great time. I'm hoping to enjoy every single moment, and the rest, just, you know, we'll see what the future holds in store.
We'll see.
For sure. What has been the most challenging part of the preparation for you? Because so far we talked about social media already, but from every single other aspect that, you know, people sometimes might not get to see on social media, what has been the most challenging for you?
I would have to say for me, not to be reposted, please. No, I'm joking. For me, it's definitely time management, and I have improved. Or this organization has made me much more effective and much more considerate about time and time management, because before that you had your 9 to 5 and you had your schedule open afterwards. You would go to the gym or you do whatever. Now there's something else added to your schedule that consumes so much of time. So now you literally have to go sit down, focus, what's going to happen. You have to plan, and that's been a challenge for me. One of the challenges. The other challenge for me was also to allow other people into my space, because I've always been someone that, although some people think that I'm this extroverted person and I'm all over and I'm, at all of these places, you still keep to yourself. And unfortunately with Super, you have to allow people, or with pageantry and being a role model and a leader, you have to allow certain people, majority, into your safe space, because they relate. It's much more relatable if you're vulnerable. So that fine line was also, it's a bit of a process, but I must say in entirety, the organization and what Supra stands for encourages me to be more open to others, to help other people, to exhort them and uplift them. So through that, you uplift yourself and you grow yourself. So that was something that I had to learn. And
Wow,
you?
that's an amazing lesson. I agree with you. I feel like it's also very similar in my case. Maybe the most challenging part for me was maybe in the first few weeks after I announced that I was joining Supra, when I needed to start putting a small team together, just having like certain coachings and looking for help, because as I told you earlier, there's no national organization in Canada per se. So I didn't have like a structure that I could go to and get help from them. So I really needed to build that structure myself from the ground up. I think that also it has been challenging for me. Sometimes the consistency in the beginning with, let's say, fitting certain like workouts in my schedule and stuff like that, because I'm also traveling right now. So I'm not at my home at the moment. So sometimes with the time zones and activities and everything is so hectic that it changes all the time. But at the end of the day, it's really about what has really worked for me is to sit down, plan everything in advance as much as I can, and hold myself accountable for my routine. So if I have in my schedule that I'm going to the gym, I'll go to the gym. If I have an activity, I'll do the activity, and that's what has been working so far.
And you mentioned that you have, basically got this team together in Canada for your support.
Yes, exactly. Because I mean, when I think of joining a competition, of course, there are so many things that come to mind. There's the Q&A preparation. There's the walk. There's like personality development, and so many things that you might overlook sometimes, but in reality are very important for the competition.
Definitely.
So I really needed to find the right people to help me with those things. Normally, when you have an organization, they have like contacts and people that they work with already, so they kind of refer you to them. But I was in a situation where I needed to, start reaching out to everyone from the beginning, looking for, even for the pageant, for like designers for the wardrobe and stuff like that. So it's been a lot of work, but I have learned so much in the process. So honestly, I cannot even complain about anything, because it has just given me a whole new layer of understanding about the pageant community and how it works.
And
So,
how's your wardrobe coming along?
I mean, everything, I have most of the pieces, everything has been selected. As of right now, it's just being, let's say, adjusted to fit perfectly. And I believe that before the third week of June, everything will be finalized, because I'll be flying to Poland on July 1st. So I need to
Oh,
have
wow.
everything. Yeah. What about you? How is that going for you?
It luckily we've got a few people on board, designers, retail outlets. That's also some of our sponsors. So this coming week, we're doing the final selections of the outfits and everything. And we went to Joburg a week or two ago for Johannesburg in South Africa for our visas and also for Romilly, which is Miss Supranational South Africa's gowns and everything. So it's coming along, and I'm flying on the 2nd of July.
Okay. It seems like time is flying. Like honestly, sometimes I tell
It's like
myself I still have a month,
it's
but
4
no,
weeks.
it's 4 weeks.
4 weeks. I can't believe
My
it. I'm
gosh,
like,
it's almost time. Allow me to ask you, Malan, a little bit about your, I mean, what we call in the pageant community, the social platform or your advocacy. Supra, we call it from the ground up project. So, what is your project that you are showcasing on this platform?
so the project that I'm busy with, I call it the Good Life Namibia project. And basically, the reason why called it Good Life Namibia is because I believe that everyone was born to prosper and to live a worthy life and a prosperous life. Reason being is that we are focusing on babies born with tumors and teratomas or any birth defects, and we want to financially support the families that can't afford these operations. We want to offer lifetime support and guidance and counseling to these patients and to the families thereof. Because I have to say, I haven't made it very public yet, or well, not internationally, but Namibia, that I was also born with teratoma, and I know the strain that it had on myself and my family. Growing up, mentally, emotionally, being pushed to the side, I struggled with acceptance, and it wasn't necessarily the intent of friends and family, but that's how I felt. That's how I received it. So now I want to be that person that I wish I had when I was younger. I want to be that person to other children. I want to be that, just that beacon of hope to other people struggling and suffering. So that's Good Life Namibia, in short.
Oh, that's amazing. Also, I mean, it takes so much vulnerability to to talk about something that is so personal as well, right? Especially if you've been through it, but the fact that you're able to take everything that you learn from it and the experiences and share it with the world, right? That's what Supra is
Yeah.
all about. So good for
That
you,
is what
brother.
it's about, and I could never really talk about it. It was always a
Yeah.
hard thing to speak about. I
Mhm.
had no one, or I thought I had no one to speak to. And entering Mister Supranational, it gave me the confidence to speak about it. And
For sure.
here I am, speaking about it, being this influence. And I never thought that something that had a physical impact on me or on my body, look where I am today, Mister Supranational in Namibia, being that beacon of hope. So it's funny how stuff just happens, but yeah, here we are.
For sure. Well, you're very
And you, what
courageous,
about,
and I applaud you.
thank you so much. Thank you.
Of course.
What about your
Um,
project?
okay, so my project is something that I started actually in early 2021. It's called Extraordinary Talks, and it's pretty much it all started as a podcast. It's a space that I created online because I wanted to have closer conversations with people from within the pageant community. This is something that I started in the middle of the pandemic, especially because it was very hard to do anything outside, or it was very hard to even connect with people face to face. So I just decided, you know what, I'll just start a podcast. And ever since, I started interviewing, contestants from different pageant systems, different countries, and just getting to know their stories. And one thing that I noticed that everyone had in common is that a lot of times the contestants go through so many different struggles that push them to want to join a pageant, to tell the stories, to inspire other people, to share those experiences. But at the same time, joining the pageant, they find so many different challenges. Especially sometimes we still have certain issues within the pageant community, such
Yeah.
as bullying, harassment, racism, and so many different things. So that kind of pushed me to turn Extraordinary Talks into more than just pageant conversation, but also wanting to help them spread their messages, help them bring them closer to the audience so that the people can really understand what it's like going through the pageant experience, and at the same time having to face with all of your own insecurities and issues and everything on top of everything that the audience puts on your shoulders.
Yeah.
So this is really what I've been trying to push. I mean, I've been very lucky, to be honest. I got to talk to a lot of people that I honestly in a lifetime didn't even think that I could interview. And I am just so happy with the reception that it has received from the audience. On YouTube, the podcast has gathered over 500,000 views, and the feedback is great. So it just keeps on pushing me to, you know, do it more, and also eventually turn it into something more than just virtual conversations. So I think that's where the Mister Supranational platform will be kind of essential if I get that title. So we'll see.
Great, I love it.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to ask you, Malan, before I let you go, because I don't want to take too much of your time. We're just talking about scheduling and how hard it is sometimes. In your opinion, what is, what will be, who will be, I mean, let me rephrase that. What does it take to be the ideal Mr. Supranational?
I have to say, looking at the past winners, referring to Louise and Varu and the previous winners, and even national winners as well from the different Mister Supranational organizations. For me, it's someone, a role model that looks at all of the aspects of themselves. You know, first of all, what impact do they have in the community? Is it authentic, and what they're doing, is it, you know, heartfelt? Does it come from the heart? Is it authentic? First of all, are they looking at themselves? So yes, this is where I also want to bring in a bit of the physique and the body. You know, I'm not the best looking physique male model, but I mean, it does play a role. And I believe everyone can agree with me that if you have someone that looks after themselves physically as well, that looks after themselves mentally, that people can relate to, that has an impact in the community, that is everything that plays part in the bigger package, as I would like to call it. So for me, the ideal person to take the title would be someone that actually focuses on all of these aspects and not just one. So not just the person that looks at physique, or just the person that looks at the community, or just the person that's there for the limelight, but that, you know, that it's a complete thing of, you can be a role model, people can relate to you, you are a leader, you are aspirational, you are inspirational. And that for me should be the person that actually uses the platform for what it truly stands for and what it's truly meant to be for me.
Absolutely. Wow, you said that so beautifully. Awesome.
And for you?
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I think that you really nailed what I feel like a Mr. Supranational embodies. I will maybe add, you know, I think that I always go back to the definition itself of the word supranational, right? Not being defined or not being limited by physical borders.
Yeah.
So for me, a Mr. Supranational is someone who must be able to reach and connect with people from all over the world. It's someone who needs to be open-minded, to understand a global perspective, and at the same time, someone who, as you said, is going to be able to inspire and make people aspire for more as well, through being a role model, being an example for everyone else. That doesn't always mean being perfect, you know, because I feel like, especially when I hear a lot of fans talk about supranational or male pageantry in general, they always refer to the ideal look for the title holder. No, it must be the best face, the best body, and this and that. And it's also about bringing people with you on the journey. So you can show them that you're still improving yourself. You can show them that you're still working on yourself, and you can take them along with you on that journey. So at the end of the day, for me, it all boils down to being an ambassador, being able to represent the organization fairly, embody the values of the organization, and take that message with you, you know, everywhere where you go in the world. So that should be the essence of it.
I must agree with you on that. At the end of the day, that's what I love about the organization, and that's what Andre also said, that if you think it's all about the outward appearance, then you have missed it.
Yeah.
Because it's not. It's about what lies in the heart. And I believe, from what I've seen from the other brothers, and I've seen Jacob also join now, so welcome to him.
Yeah.
But what I've seen throughout the journey and throughout the other contestants, that I can sense that it's truly, they are here for the right reasons, and that's what it's about.
Exactly. That's true. Every time that they select a title holder, I mean, they have all proven that, you know, they're amazing in their own right. They have achieved incredible things through their reigns. And, you know, I am confident that, you know, also this year, they're going to choose the best representative for the organization. So it's all positive and super excited. Welcoming this challenge with open arms.
Thank you so
All right. Of course, Malan, I want to thank you so much for your time. I know that you're super busy. So the fact that you took 30 minutes to chat here with us is amazing. I'm going to ask everyone who is watching us right now, but also rewatching the video later on social media, please go and follow Malan, support him on his journey. Of course, we'll be seeing each other in Poland.
Thank you, everyone, for your time as well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Take care, my friend.
You too.